Hi everyone, welcome to another session. We are going to learn about how we can actually implement Application Load Balancer in AWS. So this is Mithun. So let's go ahead and talk about what is load balancer. So let's imagine we have a website and we have a traffic which is coming down to that website, and one instance, or we have installed our application in one of EC2 machine, and that EC2 machine is getting exhausted. So in that case, we have create another machine. So right now we have three machines which is supporting the same application, but the connection or the work or the load which is coming down to this instances need to identify where exactly it needs to be get connected so that they will get the output result. So we have implemented something called as a load balancer. It will try to balance the load from the outside, and it distribute the load to different instances which is connected in the target group, so that our web application or application will work smoother. So this is the concept that we are trying to work out. So let's go quickly into our AWS environment, that is our AWS console. So we have right now in EC2 instance page. So let me just quickly open my EC2 instance. So I have created two instances here, one which is called as test server 1 and test server 2. So I'm just waiting for the screen to come up, and those two instances are working perfectly fine. So let me just open the screen. Okay, so you would see that test server 1 and test server 2. So if I take the IP address of this application, so test server 1, I've already taken the application, and if I just run, okay, test server 2, welcome to test server 2, and if I take the server 1, it will go the test, welcome to test server 1. Okay, so my two instances which is working independently. Just want to make sure that you know how it works. Now we will go down to our page where we are going to create a load balancer. So just click on load balancer option, create load balancer. So there are three different options available for us in AWS for creating load balancer. So application load balancer, network load balancer, and we have gateway load balancer. Okay, and in early days we have something called as classic load balancer. So here in application load balancer, we can actually work with web applications, and if you want some more some more feature, or you have to work with a network, then you would use a network load balancer. And if you're using a third-party application, then you can use gateway load balancer. So right now today we are working with HTTPS application load balancer. So I'm going to say ALB test 01, that's the name of my application load balancer, and it's going to say that internet facing. So the traffic which is coming from the internet, it needs to be distributed to different ports, okay, different EC2 instances. So right now it is going to take IPv4, and the load balancer, I'm going to use the port number that is 80. If I have an HTTPS request, then I have to add my SSL certificate. I can add listener here. Right now I'm not going to select that option. We are using only HTTP protocol here, so I'm going to select two subnets here. One is in AP South 1A and 1B. So in those regions I'm going to select, and I'm just going to click on next. So since I'm not using HTTPS protocol, so it can be a little more secure, it's going to pop up that message. Okay, so now I'm going to select Ansible SG, so which is already I've just created. I've just opened the port number 80. So I'm going to select that options and select. So here we have a target group. So ALB TARGT target group test01. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to give the name for that. The instance is going to be, I'm going to select with instance. You can also check with IP address lambda function. And the port number I'm going to use is HTTP. And here, if I want to do a health checks, not on the index.page, if I have another alternate page, I can update that name. So if it is error.html or something like that, so I can just check the traffic. So I have some healthy threshold, that is 5, unhealthy is 2, and time out is 5, and intervals is 30, and success codes is 200. So based on our requirements, we can actually do the health checks. So now we have two instances which is working on the same security group. I just need to add it and register to a target group. So here it says that register. So these are the two running instances I wanted to have. So I'll just click on review. So you just make sure that you click on register, and then if I just click on OK and test ALB. So once you click on test ALB, you would see that the DNS name here, state right now is provisioning, and it is on the default VPC. I have availability zone is AP South 1A and B, and type is application and the date and time. So we have all this information available here until the provisioning will go down from provisioning to active. So if I just go and copy this information, open a page and paste that ALB, we will just check. So site cannot be reached right now. So that indicates that it's still in the provisioning scenario, and we'll also see the listeners. Who are the listeners here? We can add monitors, so we can also see what is happening inside. Integrated services, if you have global accelerated configuration or AWS WFA, and you can also have tags. So I'll just come down to description. So we have the name, ARN, and all other information. So which VPC it is working, availability zones, and hosted zones, and you have created time, security group, and other information that is available here. Okay. And we also have target group. So target group is nothing but which will have information about the number of EC2 instances that is working with. So that's the target group we have selected. It's in HTTP port number 80 instance type. So let's get back to our load balancer. It shows your load balancer is active. So I'm going to get back to the DNS name. Let me just check. So it is going to select the first server 2. So let me just refresh. So you would see that it come back and selected the test server 1. So it's going to select your servers, that is server 1 and server 2, in a round robin fashion. That means it is actually allocating your balances, or it's trying to allocate your traffic to test server 1 and test server 2 in a round robin fashion. Okay, so that means our load balancers are working fine. So that means our active load balancer is in the process of updating those information. So today we learned about how we can actually go ahead and set an application load balancer, how we can route your traffic from EC2 instance, and with the help of DNS, we are able to check if it is working fine. So if you have a specific website or any specific IP address that you have to connect, so you can use your RIDE 53 and link it with that. So without any interface, it will try to connect your instances without any problem. So I guess you are able to understand the topic, and thanks for watching this video. You have a great day.